that's authorized by the state legislature to collect a 1% local option sales tax that goes into the general fund. Nobody can say our city tax bill is only 22% of the total tax bill as justification for raising taxes. We are actually collecting more in the 1% local option sales tax every year than we are in the property taxes. And I've got the budget right here.
Actually, it's 19 million as opposed to the 11 million in the property tax. So a big difference. And then when you look at the LGA HACAP aid, which is like 33% of our revenue sources, I mean, that's just huge. So we have to watch what we're comparing. But it was my understanding that because the tax bill was vetoed by the governor, the issue at stake here is those additional LGA funds, which the city used to receive, and then for years we didn't. Hopefully, we were hoping that those would come back. And from what I understand, administration sees that as the shortfall.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, just to clarify.
So is it a shortfall, Heather, or is it just we're not getting the anticipated revenue?
It's not getting the anticipated revenue, but it's such a big chunk of the city's budget that it seems very extreme.
Yeah.
Okay.
Charlie, you're trying to get in there. So.
No, I absolutely, she's correct. Heather is correct.
Okay. So should we raise the city tax levy? And I promised each and every one of you, because I asked about that in the survey. We're not going to mention it here. We didn't include it in the publication. But I mentioned that we'd have a chance to air out our philosophies about these kinds of things. So tax levy.
Okay.
Should we increase the tax levy, and what would it do to business? And what would it do to business climate if we do that?
I'm someone who believes that reasonable inflationary increases are appropriate, and businesses do understand that. It's when they get unreasonable, the 20%, et cetera, year after year, and also when our city administration is not looking for efficiencies to the extent that they should be, then it seems totally out of whack. And I think that the business community is certainly would align and attest to that as well.
Okay.
And I couldn't support any increase in property taxes at this point. We've put too much pressure on businesses and residents in the form of 20% higher utility rates as of December of last year, and increasing taxes. I've got a customer, for those that don't know, I'm involved in commercial banking for the last 20 years. I've got a customer that uses a lot of water, and they really took it hard to the bottom line when the water rates went up. My concern at this point is how we're spending our money. We built a parking ramp without having a signed lease with the majority tenant. That is going to cost the city of Duluth taxpayers on the upwards of $400,000 to $450,000 or more per year. We also successfully, thank goodness, voted to privatize the city-owned golf courses. There were a few councilors that voted against that. According to John Hall, that was to save $450,000 per year, which in my mind is 7 or 8 or 9 full-time equivalent police, fire, or public works employees. We need to have leadership within the city that is going to be amenable to looking for efficiencies, to prioritizing what our core service delivery is before I would ever support raising property taxes or utilities again. I think there's a lot of efficiencies that can be found in this budget. Right now we're just dealing with the large ones, and so that's how I feel on that.
Okay.
And I guess I'd like to take a stab at the tax levy question too, because I think I would be, in my mind, the very last resort. Okay. And if our city were in financial straits and we were not going to be able to fund basic services like community neighborhood policing and our firefighters, because those clearly are core services, and without public safety, people can't enjoy their lives and businesses can't thrive. So we have to understand, we have to all agree on, and
there's like a safety net.
What the core issues are, services are. So that would be the only circumstance that I would see that it would be appropriate to do that. Now that being said, this year at this point in time, I would not be inclined to do that. It is difficult to answer a question like that because we don't know what the city's circumstances are going to be in the future. In fact, it wouldn't be as responsible for any of us, I don't think, to say ever. So I would not say never. And as Heather had alluded to earlier, when there's cost of living, and a lot of times people understand and businesses understand those kinds of increases and the necessity for those. But so I think that that's a tough thing, because people, as you said, Andy, and I'm a homeowner too, and my taxes have gone up. And I look at my water and gas bill, and my water has gone up. My gas, I heat with gas, that has gone up. And people are feeling the pinch. And we need to be sensitive to that as counselors, and we need to be particularly sensitive to the folks who are living on fixed incomes. But all of us feel the pinch in one way or another.
Okay, good. I'm going to check out our time here.
We could stop.
Okay, let's take a quick break. We'll come back after a break. Good.